So Gray Matters is what's called an aging life care service, and I do in-home assessments for mostly older adults, and I develop a plan of care. I can either coordinate that care or I can help the family do the work. I also do consulting with adult children mostly. So I'll have a child call me who's concerned about their parent, and then I'm consulting them on issues like driving when they shouldn't be, getting to a neurologist, providers that can come into the home and help. So do a lot of different things. Well, I was 8 years old, and there was a skilled nursing facility, or we used to call it nursing home, in my neighborhood. So I would go after school, weekends, and volunteer. So I did a lot of different jobs in this facility as a volunteer, and I really developed my admiration and love for older adults at that age at 8. And studied in college some, and then of course graduate school, and been working with older adults now for about 34 years. I think it's just being that advocate. We all need an advocate at any age, but I think having someone that's going to listen and be respectful, abide by your wishes, right? We all have wishes as we age. How do we want to be cared for? What kind of life do we want to lead? Do we want to live at home? Do we want to move? So just being that advocate, I think it's important that we all have representation and support. So the people that I refer to are licensed caregiving agencies. We call them personal assistance services. I utilize home health agencies to do therapy in the home. I partner with hospice companies to do end-of-life care. I also utilize elder law attorneys to deal with their estate planning and different documents. Financial planners on occasion to help them figure out what kind of monies do they have to pay for care. I also use different nonprofits and government entities. Nonprofits like Meals on Wheels to deliver meals, transportation services. So there's an array of resources that I depend on to help my clients. I think just to have more compassion and patience. I think we're losing some of that in today's world. I think that, everybody's on such a fast pace, and so sometimes we're not willing to slow down and assist somebody and take the time, whether it's teaching them technology so that they can get into their patient portal to see their doctor's notes, or to just listen. Sometimes they just want to share their story. I think seeing the results and seeing that people can age in place or age well, and to be happy that they are able to make their needs known and that their families could be a part of this, and actually seeing improvements. It's the outcomes that are important. Seeing that things can be better for somebody, whether they're at home or in a facility, making sure that they have the right services and care. I'm covering Bexar County and surrounding counties, so I drive as far as Uvalde for a client. So I'm covering Central Texas pretty much, as far east as probably New Braunfels, and then I'm going as far west as about Uvalde. I go to Boerne, go south, I've gone to Lavernia for clients, so I cover a fairly large region. It's to have that experienced professional on the other end. Call it like part of the team. So I'm kind of the hub and the wheel. I'm keeping all the information and relaying that to the family. Some of them don't live here. I have long distance caregivers, so I'd say for a lot of care managers, our families are not here. So it's a matter of being that resource, being the support, relaying information. So it's all about the communication and being transparent and keeping them in the loop, especially if they're the power of attorney. So for aging life care management, most of the time it is out of pocket, and I try to be very reasonable in my rates and be fair. I also do sliding scale for those that are lower income. So somebody that's living in subsidized housing, someone that's applying for Medicaid, I'm doing about half my rate for those individuals. I also contract with the Alamo Area Council of Governments under the Caregiver Support Program. So when the budget is okay and there's funding, then people can get me through that program at no cost. And then I also contract with an employee assistance program. So some families utilize that service through their employee benefits. But it's not about, I'm not looking at bottom, and I do pro bono too, and I didn't even say that, but I get calls from people just needing a quick answer, and I'm not saying you gotta sign a contract with me. It's just, how can I direct you to the right service? Someone else can help you. Let me give you the language that you have to use to speak to someone through a nonprofit or through ACOG, about benefits or whatever,